Christmas!
Ho ho ho!
What do you call me? It's disgusting.
Is that? Should we just say that's the start?
Yeah, we'll call. No, we'll just start with Rhiannon going ho ho ho, and that is it. How are you, Lewis?
Fine. Feeling humpuggy. You know, because I like dogs and I don't like Christmas.
Yeah, Scrooge, Lewis Scrooge there. So for people who don't know, this is our mini pod.
And that's it. Thank you and good night.
Done. We've peaked. There's rather a big thing going on at the moment. It's called Christmas. It happens every year, in case you don't know. So as lots of people have traditions about watching certain films at Christmas and listen to particular types of music, we thought it'd only be fitting that we, considering we talk about film, TV, that we would give our 2 cents. Is that the right expression? Yeah? Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Christmas. I love the whole thing. I love films and I love TV. And there's even some songs that I can't get through Christmas without hearing. Does anyone want to start with their favourite Christmas film?
You should probably say who I am.
Oh, yeah, this is...
And now that's the mini pod. Good night.
I'm sorry, do you not know who you are? Is that the issue? So this is Elton John.
Taron Egerton. No way.
He looks really different on YouTube. This is Rhiannon. This is my other half.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hello.
That's it's horrible. Say it. Speak. Now.
Hello.
Oh, right. Yeah. So.
And we should let everyone know, by the way, she's the genius behind the excellent opening tune or tunes, with them show any variants that we want in the future.
That little.
These neither of us could come up with that, Charlie.
No.
I mean, we could hum something and record that, but I don't think it's got quite.
Mate,
the same.
that was my first version of it. Oh, hello, Boo. Our little dog's trying to get involved. So anyway, we said this was going to be a mini pod, so let's try and keep it. Let's try and keep it mini. I know what your favourite Christmas movie is going to be, and if I go first, I'm definitely going to steal it. So okay. I think let Rhiannon go first.
What? Maybe I'm going to pick something completely left field, and then you're going to look weird because you like a shit Christmas movie.
All right. So Lewis, what's your favourite Christmas film then?
So mine, unsurprisingly, by anyone who knows either of us or the pod, isn't a traditional Christmas film. One, because I'm a contrarian, pretentious prick, but also because I love Batman. So mine's Batman Returns.
Oh!
Just straight in. 1992 hit, most underrated Batman film outside of Mask of the Phantasm. One of Tim Burton's best. It's got just enough of his weirdness before it goes, full Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I mean...
Thank you, good night.
Thank you, yeah. Wow. It's going to be really easy to edit this because it's going to be multiple opportunities where like, okay, that was it.
That'll do.
That was the mini pod. Actually, you know what? That could be this year's Christmas. I'll do my film. That's next year's Christmas. Rhiannon's... We've banked three Christmases. Three Christmas pods there. Yeah, you know what? It's weird. I didn't actually realise it was... You could argue that it was a Christmas film until I was watching...
Argue? It's set at Christmas and it's covered in snow.
But even you said that it's not like, your run-of-the-mill Christmas, but you never make that connection. I mean, despite the massive Christmas tree in multiple scenes. But I thought you were going to go with Die Hard.
I mean, that's...
But too predictable.
So yeah...
They're so unpredictable that I was very predictable.
So I have 2 Christmas films that are my favourites. One is my actual favourite, and the other one is what I told people it was for years. So I told everyone it was Nightmare Before Christmas because, it's like really cool, man, like Nightmare Before Christmas. It wasn't even appreciated when it first came out. It gathered a cult status and then re-emerged years later to be this, behemoth of a film. I do really, really like Nightmare Before Christmas. However, my actual favourite Christmas movie is the Santa Claus movie, and not the Tim Allen one. I'm talking the old school. Lewis nearly fell off his perch.
Who's it? Is it Dudley Moore?
Yeah, Dudley Moore's in it. He plays an elf.
Not Roger Moore.
Not Roger Moore.
Different
That'd be a
Moore.
very different film. Especially if he was being Bond in it
Yeah.
as an elf. I mean, is that not the idea for a greatest Christmas movie where Bond is playing an elf?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dudley Moore is an elf. Roger Moore, he's not even in it. Dudley Moore's an elf called Patch. He is Santa Claus, not Father Christmas. He's Santa. Santa's his favourite elf. A lot of hijinks goes on. He gets a bit annoyed. He gets off. He invents another Christmas.
I just can't remember this film. I remember who's in it.
John Lithgow's in it. John Lithgow's the baddie in it. You know, he's a white, older man in charge of a business. So when the time that film was made, he was the baddie. He didn't want to be the baddie. He was forced into it. He had to play that part and just nail it. And he's absolutely brilliant in it. There's a bit where he's eating all these candy canes so he can fly, because in this universe you fly with candy canes. And he does this.
I've got my ears on.
That's why you got your ears on. Yeah, he does this noise. It's like the way he sort of swallows the wind and eats the candy canes at the same time. And it definitely wasn't in the script or he must have come up with it himself, because it's just so perfect. This sort of guttural warble sound that he makes.
Is this not a horror film?
Well, I mean, see what happens to his character at the end of the film. But the reason I love it so much is because the guy who plays Santa is, for me, what I imagined him looking like when I was a kid. Big dude, big white beard, long white hair, red suit. That's tradition, you know, for Coca-Cola they made the red suit. Not for that movie, but historically. He was multiple different colours, and then Coca-Cola made him red for an advertisement, and it stuck. But yeah, that's what I always think of when I think of Father Christmas. You know, not that I think of him round the year. Can we just move on? I think I've revealed way too much about myself here.
Charlie loves Christmas, so Charlie's the opposite of Lewis, I guess, in this. Because Charlie's generally a bit of a Scrooge quite a lot of the time, but not around Christmas.
Mm-mm.
He blimmin' well loves Christmas.
I love Christmas. I love mince pies.
I'm the other way. I'm generous all year. As soon as it comes to Christmas, I take back things. I don't even give gifts.
Right, go on.
Okay, I've got two. Am I allowed two?
Well, it goes against our very strict rules for the pod, doesn't it, Lewis? You know.
One and you're out.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of the digital rabbit hole is to see where it goes. But let's bring those rules in. Let's do it.
Okay.
Go on. Go on.
So my first favourite is Home Alone.
Classic.
It does. I mean, it is probably a little bit.
You know, all joking aside, I think Home Alone is not only an excellent Christmas film. I think it's just a great film. We watched it a couple of nights ago. And you know what? It's just a really, really good film.
It's just funny.
Yeah, the actors, like for instance Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci is, you know, he's a proper gritty, like, you know, he's an actor's actor, like, but he's in that film and he's not taking the piss. He is fully committed in that movie. Like in any other film that he's in, he's going for it, and it completely pays off. Like, how old is that movie? And people can still talk about the scenes, or if, you know, someone features him in like in a music video or anything like that, you instantly know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, it's stood the test of time. Like, yeah, it's brilliant, and yeah, I think it's just a great film. Anyway, it just happens to be set at Christmas.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
and that's why it's my favourite. Thank you for explaining why.
Home Alone's one of those films where, as a child, it's a bit. In my mind, it's similar to like the Goonies, where I didn't love it as a child, so I don't have that same love for it that other people do. But I enjoy the references anyway because it's so in the zeitgeist, and that film itself references so many
Yeah.
other things from like earlier cinema that I'm like, it's one of those things where you don't have to like the film, but objectively you've got to admit it's a good one.
Well, how did you start liking it then? What was the first? Why do you take
I
away the technical side of it? Like, what's the connection to it or the emotion to
Do
it?
you know what? It's one of those movies that I actually remember what happens.
Never remembers anything.
It's funny because it's got a beginning, middle, end, and there's people in it, and they talk, and things happen.
But I
It's
remember
great.
what those things are. That's the thing. So my general problem with movies, it's movies definitely, that not particularly TV shows and books and things. Like I can tend to take that in more, but movies I have a real problem retaining plot. No idea. Like I can watch something once and then I can watch it again. I might as well just be watching a brand new film because I've got no idea no recollection of what goes on.
I bought the same DVD every Christmas for 7 years. Like it's really easy.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
But no, I think Home Alone's one of those movies that kind of I did want to watch again, and then it stuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I must have watched it when I was really young. I've owned it for a long time.
To be fair as well, and to be fair as well, plot wise, there's not much to remember. I mean, his
Maybe
parents don't
that's
even
it.
remember him, so it's like basically right. He's in the house, and there's people trying to get in
It's
it.
simple.
You know what?
Effect.
Maybe
Enjoy.
you're the key demographic for a film like Home Alone because you don't remember the first film, and they're banking on that because they did it all again in the sequel. So you're watching it like straight off, aren't you? But you know what? The more like the way we're talking about it makes me feel like Home Alone is almost like a stand-up set that you can re-watch it because you know what? While you're laughing or digesting what's just happened, you watch it a second time and you're catching the second joke or the one that you missed last time because you were interested in the one you were looking at. So it is. In a weird way, it is actually better with the multiple times you're watching it. So that's why you do watch it every Christmas.
Yeah.
I love it. Lou, do you reckon you'd be all right in that situation? Now, granted, I'm not saying you at your age now because you're definitely the Joe Pesci of the group. But if you were Kevin McAllister, so not Macaulay Culkin, like because he's older now as well, so he'd be all right. But if you were Kevin McAllister and you were in that situation at Christmas, do you reckon you'd be all right?
Yeah, I reckon
Excellent.
I would.
End of pod. No conversation. Yeah.
Do you know what? You threw it up for me, and I just went.
Yeah.
It landed there. You're right.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be fine, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
My other favourite Christmas movie.
No. Oh, what was that, Rhiannon? How would I be? Oh, I think. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I think I'd be all right too. Sorry, what's your second one?
This is all staying in.
Oh yeah, no,
Don't edit
no,
it.
we're not editing. This mini pod
actually-
longer than the original pod, but
Do you
whatever.
actually want to know?
Oh God, go on then.
My other one is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
A
good choice.
cinematic masterpiece, I think some would say.
It's one of those movies, and it's kind of similar as in The Office.
You can't watch it.
It's because I ever since I was a kid, I've always had to imagine myself as the main character, or what would I do in that situation. And even though it's a great film and I do love it, afterwards I feel like I need to go for a bit of a lie down. I'm
Too much
knackered.
the cringe factor.
Yeah,
for
I
you,
get
isn't it?
like too emotionally invested. I'm like, why would he stand for that? Just your uncle's just burnt down the tree. Kick him out. Like
I get a bit like that with certain films where the actors sell it almost too well, and I'm exactly the same. Where I'm like, no, but you just wouldn't do that. It's funny enough. It's the same thing with horror films where people get pissed off the characters making stupid decisions.
Yeah.
It's like in a comedy, it becomes almost less acceptable somehow.
Well, I think like
I know what you mean.
You mentioned horror films. Like that's why I think Scream did so well when it first came out, because it's in a universe where horror films exist. And I think so many times in horror movies,
Yeah.
you're like, have you never seen a horror film? Like, why are you going down that dark corridor by yourself? Yeah. So,
And never mind horror films. Have you ever made a logical decision
Yeah.
in your life? You think there's a monster in the house, and you think, let's all split up and go in dark rooms separately with no weapons
Yeah.
or lights.
I'm
Sound, yeah, we're gonna make it
I'm
through
sold.
the night.
Yeah, that's the leader I can get behind.
Oh.
Thank you and good night.
Good choice, though, Rhiannon. I'll be honest, they were both films that if none of us mentioned would get cancelled before we've even got off the ground. Christmas Pod and no Home Alone or National Lampoon.
You know what?
You don't know what
We
you're
actually
talking about.
watched.
I know Christmas. Have
yeah,
you
she
seen
does.
my outfit? I came dressed for the occasion.
Don't let her fool you. Those are her prescription glasses.
Yeah.
Like, they are real.
They don't...
NHS is getting budget cuts.
We actually watched a new great Christmas film the other day.
Did. Klaus.
Klaus,
Have you seen
which we
that?
thought was what did we think it was called?
No, I've heard of it.
We thought it was Claus, but it's Klaus. It's an animated film. It's almost got like a stop frame animation style about it.
Yeah.
And the basic setup, like a lot of these sort of family films, are that
I need
the
to
main
do-
character. Oh, hello. Oh, she's back. The main character's a bit of a douchebag.
Sorry.
Main character's a bit of a douchebag. They're going to go on a journey of redemption and come out a better person, like by the end.
Like us doing the
Like
pod.
us doing the pod. We keep failing at it, but you know we try our best. But it's very clear quite early on that that's going to be the setup, and they know that's going to be the setup, and it's not all tailored around just that. There's a lot more that goes into it, but yeah, we picked it because out of the two Christmas films we wanted to watch, it was the shorter of the two.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I'm like, I am so glad we ended up picking that one. That was a great film. It kind of like similar to Arthur Christmas, where it's all completely tech based. I thought that was a great spin on the sort of hereditary nature of the Father Christmas title,
Yeah, that was a
passed
great
down
movie as
generation to generation. I think we probably watched that at least last 3 Christmases, surely.
I don't even know when it came out.
We watched it before it came out. That's how much we like it. Any other movies or any other traditions?
Not Christmassy at all, but a tradition. I always tend to watch the Lord of the Rings extended edition for the 10th time of the year around Christmas. I tend to always have somewhere between Christmas and New Year, or maybe the few days leading up to Christmas, I'll tend to have a day where I'll watch all the Lord of the Rings films together.
Lewis.
And I feel like one of them came out around Christmas, and that's
You are a liar. You start in January and it takes you until Christmas to watch it all. It's running it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bit of a tradition that my partner's not on board with. But I'll still watch it on my own for 3 weeks.
Non-stop, no sleep. You know what? I feel like Harry Potter is a sort of in a similar vein. I mean,
We do. We definitely watch Harry Potter around Christmas.
no, I think this year I watched Harry Potter with you, but generally it's been you watching Harry Potter every year. You're not even aware. You don't even remember the films. You're not even aware I'm there.
That's true. Yeah.
You just know which one it is by Daniel Radcliffe's funny voice and his hair getting longer and shorter. Like, oh, this is the fourth one, I think.
Yeah,
All
that's
their
it.
hair's
Well, I mean,
longer.
the thing is, like, there is that film where all of them
Yeah.
clearly listened to like Kurt Cobain, Nirvana once, and all started growing their hair out.
They get a bit edgy for
Get a bit edgy,
a film.
yeah. But I mean, it's set around the school year, isn't it? So there's a Christmas in
There's
every.
always a Christmas.
A Christmas in every
Comes
film.
every year.
Yeah.
It's definitely got that vibe because for those 10 people that still watch normal terrestrial TV, it's on telly a lot around Christmas, and it's like anything that's magical and family and all that kind of thing. I mean, there's an argument to be made that most family orientated blockbusters become Christmas.
Oh mate, I watched
films
I watched
default
E.T.
because,
multiple Christmases when I was a kid. Like, and I think you're all off. Not all off at the same time, but you're off with your parents. If you've got any siblings and stuff, you tend to be around each other a little bit more around Christmas, hopefully, if you're lucky enough for that. And you get to indulge in those sort of times where you're watching the film together, or and I think like E.T. pops up. I'm trying to think of any other sort of like when I was that sort of around that sort of look. I mean, I would even throw things like the original Ghostbusters and stuff into it like that. They're always popping up on TV around those times. Back to the Future was a staple on British TV around Christmas.
No, don't I know it?
He's a Back to the Future hater. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna hate that, right? Yeah, my little Doc Brown.
Oh no,
I think he's cute.
I like pop culture references in bobblehead form. I'm always a fan of that.
It's
Good
the
pop
only
vinyl.
way I'll have pop culture references. Thanks. I do have one music tradition around Christmas. Is on my last drive home, and it's like I'm after this drive I'm done with work and it's just family and Christmas and drinking. So having access to a vehicle is a no-go. But I really like to listen to Driving Home for Christmas on the way home, and I think it's because of that one line where he's talking about you look at the driver next to you, and he's just the same. He's driving home for Christmas, and I'm like, oh, what a really. It wasn't like it happened, and I went, I'm going to make that a tradition. I forced it upon myself because I thought I feel like that's a nice way to be like, I'm casting off the crap that we all have to deal with, and I'm going to enjoy Christmas in the bubble that it's that I want it to be, and enjoy and make it the best version of it. And I feel like that for me is it's almost the line in the sand. I'm there for me, and it's like my almost my own my starting point, really. So that's mine.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that?
I like that. With Christmas music, when I used to work in either customer service roles or anything adjacent to that, I tended to not like Christmas music because it would be forced down my throat, obviously, for the month before. But this year, the good thing from the lockdown, if there can be a good thing, is that the only times I've heard Christmas music is basically on my own terms. So if I'm watching something and there's an advert that pops on, it's like, right, okay, it's 20 seconds, 30 seconds of a song, and they usually don't pick rubbish ones, because they're trying to sell a product.
They're heavy hitters, aren't they? So
tend not to pick a shit one. And then while my partner's been working, she's had Christmas music on a few times in the past couple of weeks, just for a little bit while she's doing something. And I'm like, oh yeah, I like a lot of this stuff. I think it's that thing in small doses. I do enjoy the Christmas music, but there's also, I think, because this is the first year where I've not really realised it's Christmas until I've gone like, oh shit, it's a week away and I've still got stuff to get.
You've got my presents.
I think
right?
that's also
You've got
part
my
of it.
Right? Why is he laughing?
Oh
He didn't answer.
I think.
Oh.
I think. I think I want it more this year as well. Like there's a part of me that's willing that music, that's pushing a little bit of that. Like the most humbug thing I've done this year is this T-shirt, and it's even quite cute. It's got a dog on it, so maybe I'm softening.
No, that's impossible. I don't believe it. You're made out of granite. But no, it's
just. I think it's just because this year's been so.
Yeah, I think I think
rubbish.
we all deserve a bit
it.
of Christmas cheer, don't we? Really,
Yeah.
For what whether
in whatever form we can take it,
or whatever form you can get it. Really, like it is what it is. Like, but yeah, I do love a bit of Christmas cheesery.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, we started early this year. We put up our tree.
September.
I would have done, but we definitely put up our tree very early.
Don't worry, I had a few choice words about it when I saw the posts.
But I mean, why not? Like, if that was the thing that makes us happy in a year where it's been quite difficult to be happy at times, then why not?
And to be fair, without airing dirty laundry, I think you guys have also got a lot more reason to make the most of a longer Christmas and being at home. At the end of the day, if certain plans and certain things because of lockdown and stuff don't happen, it's like, well, do you know what? My Christmas tree's going up now.
Yeah.
Tough. We want a longer Christmas then.
The wedding.
Yeah.
That is it. It's the wedding, isn't it, you were referring to? Yeah. So that didn't happen. But you know what? She's got Mickey ears on, so we're all winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a worthy compromise.
It's a worthy compromise.
Yeah,
I want
That's
it to
fine.
wear something glittery and fun.
Tell you what I'd like. I'd like us to start traditions from this year, because it feels like one of those years where time has stood still, and everyone's in the same boat. I think us as friends and as a podcast, for anyone listening, I think we should start some traditions. I think people should let us know what films or what things in general they think we should pick up.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah,
Something a bit different, because I've got an idea. I've got a fun idea for us: a Shane Black movie marathon every year at Christmas. Because if you notice, a lot of the things he writes, even if it's like, you know, a noir thriller, it's set at Christmas, or Christmas ends up having something to do with the main plot.
Okay.
Which again, another pretentious. It's not. Well, I mean, technically it's a Christmas film, but one of those. But Shane Black films are great and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice little. Yeah, do you know what? That's something a bit different. And this year, in the nicest possible way, it's been something a little bit different.
I'm more than happy to take on that tradition. Let's do it. I'm game.
I mean, I'll watch it and I won't remember it. So
every year, but I can do one for her.
We'll just do the same one. We'll just watch Long Kiss Goodnight every year, and you're like, oh, this is Samuel Jackson. This is one of his. I've not seen him in this.
But you know what? I think that's what it is though. Because I literally do need to watch something fairly religiously, and then it becomes a tradition and sticks in my memory. So you just have to sit me down.
Yeah.
If there's something that you really want me to get into, you just have to sit me down and like force it upon me for.
Maybe you're just like the harshest critic that. I can't even critique a film or a TV show until I've seen it 40 times. You need to make me invested. You've got to try really hard.
Yeah, I think so.
To get through.
And then on the 41st watch you go,
yeah,
it was alright.
I've seen better.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't watch it twice, but...
Oh, God. It was my Christmas cheer trying to get out then. Sorry.
I thought it was the humbug trying to come back.
Stay down, bitterness. Push it down until no one can see it. You're fine.
Can I just say that there's a supercut of euphemistic phrases and choices in this podcast that someone feel free to pull it together. It's fine. I mean, that itself,
That's the after hours, podcast that
That's
we're going to do.
That's the Triple Xmas podcast.
Triple X.
Hey, there we go.
I'm frantically trying to put like a nice jovial spin right for the last upward sort of swing of this mini. I think we've definitely lost one of the minis now on the mini podcast.
It's Maxi.
It's a maxi podcast now. But without sounding too sentimental, I hope everyone has a really, really good Christmas, or having a really good Christmas. We all deserve it, and
I do.
She definitely deserves it.
A lot of us deserve it.
Yeah. Maybe 2 or 3 of us. Please join us in after Christmas and in the new year. Got lots of stuff coming your way. So yeah, from me, have a great Christmas. Enjoy whatever you're up to.
Ho ho ho.
Right, nice one. He's still going for it.
Huge thank you to everybody who has watched or listened. And if you enjoy our podcast, please hit follow, like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Rate us, review us, turn on notifications for our next episode, and you'll be really helping us to grow and keep building a great community. Get in touch with us on all the socials via @DRHpod, or for us individually, Lewis Alex Ryan and _Charlie Fallows.
Stay down, bitterness. Push it down until no one can see it.